So this is the second part of week 4, chapter 5, lecture video. I was a little ambitious for you. I apologize. I am giving you 2 weeks to complete this chapter. This chapter is 56 pages long, 54 pages long. And hopefully, you're watching these videos before you go ahead and do it, because I'm going to skip a couple pages to hopefully save a little bit on time and still teach you what it is. But feel free, if you're the type of person that needs to go through page by page after you watch the videos from me, do whatever it is you need to do. I'm going to skip a couple of the things that I know are annoying from this publisher, but it's all education. And what the publisher is doing is it is actually having you do something and then aligning different things and using the modify commands that are, same as CAD, just obviously different in Revit. So bottom line, if you look at page 5-10, 5-10 is starting to draw our exterior walls. Oh, excuse me. Let's back up a minute. 5-8. 5-8 talks about the exterior wall systems, and it's showing you the completed plan for reference. Now, I want you to tab this page. Fold the corner, do whatever it is you do, highlight it, remind yourself where this page is, because it's always great to go back and look at something of what we're trying to do. These are the floor plans. You can see the first floor on 5-8, and you can see the second floor on 5-9. This is what we're trying to achieve. And again, it's super great to be able to go back and look at this and maybe see if something is amiss on our plans. It also talks about adjust the wall settings when we first start creating the exterior walls. It is going to have you use a generic 8-inch wall that they will change on you on page 5-15. So we're going to stay with the 8-inch right now, just for purposes of teaching. And this lecture, I want to be able to make sure I'm showing you how to use the grips on the temporary dimensions and how the extension lines are being pulled from. Please make note or remember, when you are pulling dimensions on exterior walls, that extension line, right? An extension line extends from the object. That extension line has to be from the outside of the framed wall. It cannot be to the center. It cannot be to the interior of the exterior wall. It needs to be to the outermost structural point, outermost structural part of the stud, of the wood stud. Because I talked about the building envelope, right? We're creating the building envelope. Well, that exterior stud, that exterior part of the exterior stud is exactly what is creating our building envelope. The other thing too, that we can't stand on job sites is having any fractions, and sometimes having any inches on our exterior dimensions. These should all be quote unquote zeroed out. So when we go around the clock on our floor plan, because don't forget, you have to draw this in a clock-like formation, or there are certain things that will not work on this. And I'll be able to pick up on it when you say, Professor, I can't do this or I can't do that. I'm going to say, did you do the exterior walls in a clock-like formation? Because that's what's going on right here. So please put that defaulted in your mind as well too. Moving forward, any drawing program out there, go in a clock-like formation. It's just going to make your life a lot easier. So those exterior dimensions all should zero out. We do not want any fractions left on there. My estimating students out there, you just saw a video on concrete, and you can see that, and you can imagine, if you haven't seen my lecture on estimating, concrete is not easy to work with. They're big forms that you have to put in place to pour the concrete. Can you imagine if those poor guys and girls out there doing these forms for the concrete walls has a 20-foot, 6.5-inch wall? Like, what the heck do they do with that? They're going to have to cut their forms, and those forms are not cheap. They're going to have to cut forms to custom make to every project. No, building industry standard tells you and gives you, we zero out our exterior dimensions. Okay, I think I drove that home. So on the pages in between 5-9 to 5-14. It goes through this process of creating these exterior walls. And then on 5-15, it says, oh, hey, by the way, these are the exterior walls with the final dimensions on them. So it's going to make you mess around and do all these crazy things in these pages. When right there on 5-15, it gives us exactly what we are looking for. And that's what I'm going to go off of. I am going to use my wall settings for the 5-9. So I'm going to wall architecture, and I'm looking for that 8-inch generic wall. My ribbon is green, so that means I could change things, which I'm going to change my height. On this, it says I want a height of 19 feet, not 20. We do want this unconnected right now. I don't want my walls connected to anything because I'm not ready to do my floor system yet and all of that good stuff. The location line, so my location line, I do not want the location line to the center of the walls. I want it to the finish face exterior. And in my world, I would be doing core face exterior, but these are one of those things where I'm going to say, I would do this in my world, but, let's go off the textbook because I don't want to start messing with that and then confusing the heck out of everybody. Chain, you want chain to be checked. That just means you're going to have a continuous loop of these exterior walls and not jump out of the command every single time we do a wall. All right, so I am actually going to jump to that 5-15, and I'm looking over on the left-hand side of the house, which is the garage. How do I know that? Because it's telling me on 5-8 what my finished floor plan is, and it's a garage. So I'm going to start with the garage rear wall or north wall, and that wall right there is 28 feet. So I'm going to type in 28 feet. And then I'm going to go in the upward direction of 4 feet. And all I'm doing is I'm following the dimensions on this plan. 48 feet, 8 inches. I'm going down 4 feet, going in my clock-like formation, right? And I'm just, again, following everything. These 4 inches here are killing me. I hate these things. All right, I'm going to go through that elevation marker there, but don't worry. I'm going to fix it once I'm done with my house plan. 7-4 there. We're going down 4 inches, 4 feet, excuse me, 4 feet. I'm going over 17.4, 17 foot, 4 inches. I'm coming down south direction 2 feet. The front there, I'm at 14 feet. That's where the front door is going to be. Going back up 2 feet because those are nice and level there. 2 feet. I'm going over 17 foot 4 inches. I'm going back up towards that garage 4 feet. There's my 4 feet, but I always like to type it in to try to be as exact as possible. 28 feet there, and I'm closing it out that way. Now, okay, fine. So I have a house plan here. What do I have to do first? The first thing I have to do is get out of the command. First thing I have to do is move my elevation marker. Right? Let's get that guy out there so that way I don't mess with him or erase him or anything. I can move my other elevation markers too because I kind of don't like the location that they're in right now. So I like them centered to my project. Just me. Okay, and I'm just going to move this guy out just a little bit more so I can have a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. All right, awesome. So now that I have the basic perimeter of the exterior walls, I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to annotate. I am going to dimension these. And wall center line, I want the face. Yes, the face of the core, Okay, individual reference. And if you, I'm going to zoom in a little, if you hover over the wall, you can see that it is highlighted on the exterior. So that's awesome. So I'm bringing it out and look at, it's already creating, it created the extension line and now it's creating the dimension line. And now I'm going to go over and I want this exterior wall. Awesome. And then I want this exterior wall to this exterior wall. And then I want this exterior wall to this exterior wall. And I'm just going to go around and I'm going to do them all, meaning I'm going to get every single wall that I just drew, right? And I like to line up my dimensions as well too. Looks more professional when you're doing your drawings. Okay, there we go. And I'm just gonna where am I at? This one, this one. Gotta get them all. This one. Now. And there we go. All right. I'm gonna escape. Oh, I missed one, didn't I? Yes, I did. I missed this one right here. All right, so I'm just kind of looking around and making sure I got all of my dimensions, which I do. And if you zoom in here, you're going to see that, that a lot of my dimensions are exact. Yours might not be, and that's okay. We can change them. Let's see, come on, do I have any that I maybe... You guys are probably like, what the heck? They're all correct. And maybe yours isn't, which again is okay. Zoom to fit. All right, so I'm just going to jump off this video for a minute and move a few of these things so I can show you how to change them. Okay, I'm back. I'm sure that was quick on this video, but I moved a couple of the walls so they wouldn't match the exterior walls on the final dimension, just to give you a little sneak peek of what I skipped over. And really it's about like aligning walls together and again, making sure that our dimensions are correct. So if you look, let's see, where should I start? I'm going to start up here at this dimension here. 48.8. That one is correct. So if I move over to this, I have 7'4" here and 6 feet here. But this dimension right here is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be 4 feet. So this wall needs to go back 2 feet. Now, in order to do that, when you want to change a dimensions, because I put all these dimensions there, these are not temporary dimensions anymore, these are true dimensions. What I need to do is I need to click on the wall that I want to move. So if I want to move this wall, then look what happens. See how this dimension became blue? Whenever you see that it becomes blue, that is when you can change it. All you have to remember, and then I'm just going to hit escape. All you have to remember is you just have to click on the wall that you want to move, okay? 28 feet is correct. 4 feet is correct. My 7'4" is correct. This is correct. Here's another one. Here's 4 feet. This is supposed to be 2 feet, right? This is supposed to be 2 feet, just like this. Now, I could do the same thing. I could click on this wall that I want to move, and I can use the dimensions that I placed to move that wall. Or I can use align. So if I, let's see, go to modify, and I go to my align command. I actually really like this command. I can hover over, please select the line of reference. So I want to match this wall right here. I do not like to go to centers of my exterior walls. So you can see that I'm hovering over this wall and that blue dotted line is in the dead center. Well, if I just keep my cursor towards the inside part, you can see the point is towards the inside part of the wall and click tab. Look at what happened. It highlighted that interior wall. Okay, there's tab. It highlighted it. What if my cursor was towards the front? It would highlight towards the front. Okay, so you want your cursor to be in the position that you're trying to make this point of reference to. So go ahead, click on that. I'm going to click on it, and that's my point of reference. Look at blue dotted line. It shows exactly where this wall is going to line up. And where do I want this wall to line up? Well, I got to put my cursor on the location of the second wall point of reference to line up to the first wall point of reference. Use my tab. There's the blue. Click. Boom. And there it is. These two walls are now perfectly lined up on the interior part. I could have used the exterior part too. Just be aware, there's the 2 feet. Just be aware wherever you are doing that first point of reference, that's what you're doing on the second wall, right? To make it line up. Hit escape to get out of your command. There you go. Oh, here's another dimension, 25. This dimension should be 28. So what am I going to do? I'm going to click on the wall that I want to move. And then I'm going to click on the dimension and say 28 feet. Enter. And it moves the wall that I want to move. So when you're doing your dimensions, go in the clock-like formation, make sure everything, quote unquote, zeroes out. And then, you know, when you want to move walls, you're moving the walls. You're clicking on the walls that you want to move. Okay. There you go. So, and then I'm just going over to zoom to fit. Oh, where's my zoom to fit? It didn't do it. Okay. So there you go. I have my exterior walls, and now it's going to change the wall type. And then on the next video, we are going to look at changing some of the details behind the scenes on the exterior wall that we're going to change. Feel free to go ahead and jump ahead as needed, but I will do another video on changing the details of the wall, because sometimes it could be a little tricky when we start getting into the properties of those wall systems. Okay, thank you for watching video 2 of week 4, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.